friends! Today we're going stealthy. We're going to explore Japan. I'm sorry, but this time, large armies are not exactly necessary. Japan is already unified. People can now farm in peace. Merchants can now swim in money. Samurai enjoys their daily tyranny. Still, threats are everywhere, and they must be dealt with discreetly. Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun is a small-time squad-based tactical puzzle game where save-scumming is encouraged and hand-eye coordination is an absolute. You control a handful of people to deal with an incoming threat, a threat that recently started questioning their moral existence, but ultimately pulls up ancient philosophy and decided to become a menace to feudal society. Now, a special group of people are tasked to defeat this unknown terror. Introducing our members. Hayato, a generic ninja from Iga. The guy can slip like the wind, elevate to the task, and having been trained in the most dangerous mountains, stockpiles a collection of shiny new rocks and a single deadly shuriken. Yuki, a child orphan groomed into a child assassin, discovering her talents in imitating bird tunes and building sadistic contraptions, luring men to their deaths, essentially giving her dopamine release on eliminating perceived malevolence. Mugen, the daddy of the party, the most loyal servant of the shogunate, Bushido. With a single sword swipe, he conquers. In single combat, he overpowers. Unmatched EQ levels led him to understanding advanced human perception. Flinging a single rice wine enables the average person to widen their eyes and walk towards confirmed demise. Aiko, masters of disguises and responsible for sneeze-related epidemics. Trained by the best makeup tutorials in the underworld, she excels at distracting the local population by putting in extreme foundation. Lastly, Takuma, a disabled old man. His joints ache at the very thought of unconventional climbing. He cannot swim due to makeshift limb replacement. A man with a weak body, who compensates with strong experience and wisdom, teaching people that the fastest solution to every problem is a bullet between the eyes. Quietly taking out guards at extreme distances, producing firearms for everyone to enjoy. And together with a tanky tanuki manipulating every person's desire to touch fluffy organisms, he can put on a show very quickly. Together, this team of highly trained hitmen will overcome the odds and face numerous challenges while traveling the beautiful landscape of Japanese geography, telling us not only the story of the unfortunate situation of the local population, but also the visual presentation of a progressing feudal civilization. They will navigate through the multitudes of patrolling guardsmen ranging from dumb, whimsical sentries to the more disciplined straw hats and samurai. But how in the world can we navigate through a village where even citizens might be a threat? By thinking, of course, scouting the area and observing the environment. Daylight operations are different from nighttime missions because of vision. Guards are heavily dependent on ignited illuminations known as torches. The winter season came. People are generally inside their wooden homes. It's very suspicious when a series of footsteps suddenly appears. But I can't rationalize it further. Why is it suddenly suspicious when it could be any of the civilians going off course for a bit of expedition? We could hop on roofs and take alternative courses towards our mission objectives. However, it could be quite imperative to take out a series of sentries first for an easier execution of our mission. Combine different elements of our squad's different abilities and take actions in unison, achieving multiple casualties in perfection, without alerting additional guardsmen and attaining that sweet satisfaction of just pulling it off. Throughout the game, it will become a more common practice to find that sweet spot to execute your series of high-octane murder spree. Further down the line, it might become much harder. It will come to a point where a series of multiple guards will be watching over each other. It became second nature to me to press that quick save button. You try a series of plans and fail. Try and try again until you can move on and press forward towards the next set of patrols. Different approaches can be pursued during missions. This is solidified by the inclusion of badges, where you have a particular do's and don'ts in each mission, daring you to think differently by taking away simpler options. You could take on a completely pacifist run, where you knock out entire companies of enemies and get away safely in the end. But nothing's really stopping you from completely obliterating an entire camp, which includes helpless, unarmed civilians. There are no penalties in harming these people, and it only depends on the level of your personal principles. That's it! That's the game, a series of puzzles with beautiful Japanese scenery. A story about loyalty, adventure, and deception. Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun also has a standalone expansion set between the crucial moments of the original story. In both games, they would have these bittersweet endings. If you love puzzle games in the form of Japanese ninjas flying around and doing rope walks in between buildings, this is your jam. Shadow Tactics: Blades of the Shogun. 10 civilians over 10 shurikens. Play it, enjoy it.